I was spending about 24 grand a month on the minimum royalty fees, regardless if I made any money or not. So as far as like percent of revenue, it was like
20%.
18%. Yeah,
Yeah,
18,
20%.
20%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I know, because it was like 6% royalties, right? Is what they pitched us. So this ended up in a whole big during this time, and I don't want to get too far off track here, but during this time there was like this whole big lawsuit. 85 of the franchises band together, hired an attorney, and went after the franchisor for misrepresentations and overestimating or overselling pro formas and stuff like that. And I didn't know about any of this until like the very end, but I benefited from it because we won the lawsuit and we ended up getting our royalties cut in half. So at the time, so now we're talking like the Q4 of 2024. So this is all like very, very current.
Yeah.
So 2024, at the end of 2024, I realized my miscalculation. So I started hacking off territories and just buying my way out of them. So I sold a couple of them to one of my neighbors. I just paid the termination fees to the franchisor to just start consolidating down to where I was profitable, get that royalty fee under in that 6 to 10% range. So while I was doing that, the lawsuit was happening. We ended up winning, and that dropped our royalties in fast. So going into 2025 Q2, my royalties went down to like we're like 8 grand now. So it went from like 25 grand to like 8 grand a month. So
Nice.
now
And
it's
you
great.
still at the same revenue, or you went up?
Yeah, we're still about that same revenue. That is more so on my internal issues rather than the market. I just fired my GM like last month,
Oh wow.
so that kind of stalled
And,
everything out. But
and that
yeah,
lawsuit, just go back, the lawsuit, did they actually discover that they were overestimating, or what else were they doing that?
I don't know the behind this. So there was a couple of shady things that they were doing, but a lot of it was like misrepresentations and other legalese kind of things that the lawyer was using. And again, I joined in like the 11th hour on this thing. I didn't know like this whole thing was going on for like a year, and somebody called me. So what do you think about the lawsuit? I'm like, what lawsuit? And they're like, you haven't talked to Doug yet? And I'm like, who's Doug? And then I kind of got the crash course, and then signed on at the last minute, and ended up getting in on the addendum that they did.